Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your September 2018 reading. 3-card Major Arcana reading. Card number 1, your power as you show up in the reading. Card number 2, the block or drain on your power. And card number 3, your key to power. I will then be pulling one from the swords, one from the wands, one from the pentacles, and one from the cups. And then I will be pulling one from my new deck. Woohoo! The Wild Kuan Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I've been working with the mantra of Kuan Yin. Recently, I completed an extended practice with her mantra, and I've been working with the mantra of Green Tara, the Tibetan Buddhist version of Kuan Yin, for over 5 years now. So I'll be pulling one from this deck to see what we get. Right, one more shuffle for you, Sagittarius. That wasn't really a shuffle, was it? Let's try that again. There we go. And one more cut. Okay, card number 1, your power as you show up in the reading. The Moon. Card number 2, the block or drain on your power. The Magician. Card number 3, your key to power. Temperance in the reverse. Interesting. Now, it is said that the Temperance card is you, Sagittarius. So here, the key to power is you in the reverse. Well, anyway, Temperance in the reverse. So let's see what we've got. Right. Well, okay, I'm going to come straight out and say this. You are operating under an illusion from the looks of this. You are operating under an illusion that you can kind of make things happen the way you want them to happen in order to draw the clouds back over the moon and obscure the light. Perhaps push the lobster back down under the surface of the water. The lobster card in the lobster, the lobster card, the lobster in the moon card fascinated me for a long time until I went digging for some info. It's like, what's special about lobsters? Why would this lobster be here? And the special thing about lobsters is that they live for an incredibly long time, and they live alone at the bottom. I mean, obviously they mate, but they can live for up to 100 years. They've got a special thing in their cells which makes them live a lot longer than a vast number of other creatures. So when the lobster comes out like this, and it's actually sitting, I believe, on a mirror, this is about long buried, long hidden, long secretive stuff coming up and coming out. And there's a kind of a slight air of madness about this. It's just quite a sinister set of images we have here. We've got the wolf, we've got the dog, they're howling at the full moon, which is kind of looking the other way. And we've got this watchtower, surveying what's happening on this waterway here. This, oh dear, and this is you as you're showing up. I'm ever so sorry. But the block or drain on your power, it would seem to me, Sagittarius, is an overblown sense of your own power of manifestation, or an over-reliance, shall we say, of your capacity to manifest, which is, or to manifest, to manifest, which is a wonderful thing about you, because you can, in a sense. Well, the Sagittarians I know are really, really good at kind of pulling things out of a hat. Really. But here it's acting as, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I mean, one Sagittarian I know, they can walk into a real messy room. They can be like everything higgledy-piggledy, and leave them alone in there for half an hour. And you go back in there later, and it looks like a bloody show home. And everything's kind of like stuffed under there, and there's a nice piece of cloth like stuck over that. And they make it look lovely. It's a real, real talent. But here, it's acting as the block or the drain. Now, I'm going to come straight out and say what I'm seeing here, Sagittarius. It is What this reading is saying is you have to let go of long-held beliefs about yourself. That's the key to power, because what I'm seeing here in the moon with your power as you show up, and the magician with the block or drain on your power, is that there's things are sort of feeding into each other here. It's like there's a bit that don't quite look right, so you cover it up with your manifestationary power. But then there's another bit that don't quite look right, and it's like I had this dream once. Sorry to share this, but this is just what's coming to my mind. I had this dream where I was with someone, and I was in it, and I won't tell you how it pertained to my real life, but it was very, very clear at the time. We were in this house, and it was dark, and there was this little spark of fire, and it was like, we've got to put that out, or else it's going to get hold. And we were kind of going around, or I was certainly going around, kind of trying to stamp this little spark of fire out. This was ages and decades ago. I had this dream, and I was trying to stamp this little spark of fire out. And wherever I stamped it, it slipped out and whoosh, lit up somewhere else. And it was like, oh shit, it's still burning. Like, run over there, try and stamp it out, and whoop, it would turn up on the other side of the room, or out on the stairs or something. It was horrible. I just could not put it out. Anyway, that's the image I'm getting from this. No matter what you do, no matter how you shift things, you stick that over there and you like stick that under there, and it's still the same situation. And there's, with the moon here, there's a kind of kidding yourself. I'm sorry, I've got to say this, because you are really good at this stuff, and there is a place for it, but it would appear not here, not now. Temperance in the reverse here is a letting go and a putting to one side of this capacity to pour the liquid, and the liquid being emotion, from one jug to another in this physics-defying way. Look at the angel. She's just standing there, like with one foot up, one foot down, the wings nicely folded, and just going, pour it, pour it, pour it. There's a balance here. But what I'm seeing is that this balance is keeping this illusory nature of the moon card here in place. And the master balancer, I mean, good God, magic tricks like pulling stuff out of hats, it takes, it's a real balancing act. There's a balancing act going on, and it has to be let go, or you just stay in this moon energy here, and nothing will move on, and nothing, you won't get to the light of day. The light of day is what's needed. That's what I'm saying here. The key to power is to upend this balance and let it go. From whatever this is, you can keep shifting things around for as long as you like. But if stuff doesn't actually, if there isn't actually a change of the things in play and all the objects on the table here, these are the tools. We have the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle. And he's standing here with the cup, going, ta-da! Look what I can do. If the actual elements of what you're dealing with here, in whatever this situation is that's brought you to this reading, if the actual elements aren't changed by an upending of the status quo, nothing will change. But I don't know, Sag, maybe that's what you want. I don't know. Don't want to be too judgmental. Right, I'm going to pull one from the swords. Wow, how many times has this come up in the swords? And I shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. Believe me, I make these readings, I make the film, I save it, and then I watch it back. And as I'm watching it back, I'm shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Just come up again. Two swords. Okay, there's an unwillingness to put something down. There's an unwillingness to wield a sword. Either of them. And I've got to say, if there isn't some movement here, the sea is going to come in. the tide is going to come in eventually, and that ain't going to be good. What this is telling me is that words are required. Something to be said, Sagittarius, something to be said. Rather than, yeah, there's a skirting round of things here in the Moon and the Magician. Something needs to be said, something direct. And you know, once something is said, it is said. And it's out there in the world. And there are consequences, but sometimes it has to be done. It has to be done. And the consequences and the karmic repercussions have to be taken. It's not possible to sit on the fence forever. Right, Five of Wands. Well, perhaps this is what you fear, like conflict. And all these characters here, they're all the same size. The wands are all the same size. Oh, right, hold on. I need to keep going with this. Wow, Eight of Pentacles. Right, I'm just going to put these out. Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to see how this pans out. And the Six of Cups. Okay, memory, nostalgia, childhood. Right, okay, well, look, there's an equal fight here in the Five of Wands. No one can win this. This is just ridiculous. This is like a hissy fit. So, yeah. Oh my God. There is stalemate. It's stalemate. Two of Swords, Five of Wands, stalemate. Endless shifting things around, sort of in the moonlight to cover this up and secrete that and put that out of sight and bring this out. Look at this and this. It's just endless. It's just stalemate. It's going nowhere. And there's a lot of work going into it. There's a lot of effort on your part to keep things as they are. You know, Eight of Pentacles here. Just work, and then knock another one out, and knock another one out, and knock another one out. And it all just keeps going as it is. And perhaps even looking back, and I've always thought this is rather odd with this card, the Six of Cups, because people say it's about childhood, but this figure here looks for all the world like an old lady with white curly hair, like an old lady. I've never quite understood that. But anyway, you know, that's... There's a lack of engagement with what is, with the maturity of the present. And it's at stalemate. There's a stalemate here, and just sort of looking back and looking back. The key to power, which is what this position, card number 3, represents, is an upending of the old order. You know, it's down to you what you want, what you want, Sagittarius. I don't know. I can't say. But, you know, something's brought you here to this reading. You know, you're not here because you think everything's rosy in the garden. You're here because there's something you want to find out about. And this reading is telling me there's a stalemate. This is a situation that no one is stronger, no one is weaker. There's a stasis. And it's endless, like shifting things around, the same stuff around again and again and again. And nothing's moving forward, nothing's illuminated, and there's a lot of effort going into it, and it's all sort of like looking back, hide. The key to power, an upending of the old order. Right, let's pick one from the Kuan Yin. Okay, which one? This one. I'll tell you, I just look until I see the one. I think, yep, that's the one. Okay. What have we got? Oh. Harvest Mother watches over me. Right, well, look, there's clearly something to be reaped here from this. And whatever is holding you back from wielding one of these swords and cutting the corn, there is nothing to fear. Oh, sorry, there's wobbling about. There's nothing to fear from cutting the crop. It's time to harvest the crop, and Harvest Mother will watch over you. But, you know, crops left in the field just go rotten. and feed no one. Snicker snack, Sagittarius. I'm going to leave it there. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful month. Cheers. Bye-bye.